We Care live show. If you guys can see me live right now, leave a comment so that we know. We're still trying to figure this out. Thanks so much for watching episode 5. I can't believe I did it 5 times already. That's awesome. So I'm Katie Arlt. I'm your host. We Care Live brought to you by Katie Arlt and Associates Real Estate, also known as KARE, independent boutique style real estate company in Georgia. And this show is all about small businesses and locals and how the coronavirus pandemic is affecting them personally, but not the negative stuff, just the solutions that you guys might be able to use too. So today I have a good friend, Joe and David. They have recently started a new roofing company new branch of their roofing company, basically in Raleigh, North Carolina. And I thought it would be really interesting to hear from them because they just started, a few weeks ago on a new project that basically is getting turned upside down with all this craziness. So we'll get to hear from them. And also don't forget, if you guys have any friends or anybody that you know that's thinking about selling real estate or needs to sell real estate in the middle of this crisis, we can help. Even if you're not in Georgia, we have partners all over the US that we could refer you to. And we have contact lists and social distance friendly strategies and listing strategies and selling strategies for you. So I'm going to go ahead and bring Joe on and David, and they can tell you a little bit more about themselves. Hey guys, how are you doing?
Hey Kate, how's it going?
Doing well.
Good. I can hear you. Cool. So why don't you introduce yourselves and
As I
tell
as
us
I
about
as
you.
I told you before, this is not something I normally do, so this is a little nervous situation for myself. But I think at the end of the day, it's this is who we are, and I really want to appreciate. I really want to thank you and say I appreciate you bringing us on. It's an honor to be able to share our hearts and be very transparent with who we are. David's an excellent friend of mine. He's one of my best friends. I've known him for about 10 years now. And this whole process has been a huge step of faith for both of us. David, he left his family there in Mississippi. He's got a wife and 3 kids, and I consider it an honor for him to be my friend, but also an honor to be able to work alongside somebody that every relationship is built on trust. So that's what we want to convey. There's power in relationships. And as far as me, I don't want to say a lot about myself other than, I moved from Georgia. I was there for, a number of years in the roofing industry, was able to develop a lot of relationships with a bunch of homeowners in the Duluth area, Sugarloaf, and the surrounding communities. And also was able to develop realtor relationships, and those realtors had to trust in, who I was, the service I was able to bring to the table. And it was not, I always tell homeowners, it's not always about the roof. The roof kind of brings us together. And I let that homeowner know, you're going to be a blessing to me, or I can be a blessing to you. And, service is number one. I don't really like the word sales. I know it's, it is what it is, but I don't have the next best thing. Contractors can do the same thing that I can do, for them. But what makes me different? I was raised really well. My family, I have huge credit goes to them and the good Lord for blessing me with a great family. And it's just a blessing to be able to take that and share it with others, and just be myself. And I've met a lot of people in Georgia that I'm very thankful. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have this opportunity at this point. And I really just wanted to share my heart on that. And with everything that's going on, this is the best time for all of us to come together. And we got to focus on our industry, right? The roofs, we have to replace roofs to be able to stay out there and help people. At the end of the day, what can we do right now to maintain a safe distance from the homeowners? What can we do to provide giving back to the community? We're going to be doing a lot of that right now. I think with the amount of time that we have on our hands we're able to get out and search avenues to be able to bless others. Tomorrow, we're going to be there's a drive that this church has put on. We actually met a father and a daughter in the parking lot the day of the grocery store. They came up,
Oh,
talked with
cool.
us. So it was really cool. So we're able to take some avenues that are able to help people at the end of the day, and I consider that a blessing. And yeah,
Yeah.
that's really it.
That's so cool. That's one of the reasons I was like, I got to get these guys on here because you have the same kind of mindset and business concept that I have, which is, we have a hard job sometimes, and whether we like it or not, it is sales. And we're doing this because most of us are doing this because we want to help our families and our friends to make money to help families and friends. And on top of that, all of the families that we're helping on the other side too, whether it be me with helping someone buy or sell a house, or you guys with a roof. And I know I have a lot of friends in the business right now who are having a really hard time bothering people with their prospecting, with the sales calls or door knocking. And I know that you guys mentioned that you had previously been doing a lot of door knocking to introduce yourself and say, hey, I noticed that maybe you have, I don't know what you say, but I would probably say, hey, I noticed that you have maybe those Atlas chalet shingles or whatever that are no good. Maybe we can help you out. But what I've been telling everyone is that we cannot stop doing our jobs. We have to find another way to do it because these people still really need our help. And all of the people out there who might be offended if you bother them in the middle of this stressful time, there are people, I can't tell you how many times that I've called someone and they said, I literally have been praying every day for you to call me, for someone to call me to solve this problem, and you're just an answer to my prayers. So keep doing what you're doing. Do you have I know I was going to say, how's this affecting you guys and how are you adapting? And it's just really interesting because you're just starting out. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, it's really limited. We want to do the right thing at the end of the day, and I feel like we've discussed this. With the owners, we've discussed this between David and I. It's one thing to start a new location, but it's another thing to have this coronavirus. As it's come into play. So, what is the right thing to do? Is it to go knock on a door? Is it not to knock on a door? Is that going to offend somebody? We're just trying to do the right thing. So it's kind of shifted the way that we approach things, from a
Yeah.
digital side, the campaign of that. And, you know, um,
So yeah, hey,
What do you
go
think,
ahead.
David?
Go ahead,
no,
Dave.
yeah, I'll chime in. So Joe and I think you can kind of feel his heart through his words, and that's we try to be in as much as possible very transparent. And I think great things happen when you're willing to just lay yourself out there, right? Like this is who I am.
Yeah.
This is all of me. Take it as you will. We really, of course, when you take out of play just traditional canvassing and door knocking and face to face interaction, and when you take that out, that's a big part of the roofing industry and the way that we promote ourselves. So we've continued to try to focus on what's important to us, and that's relationships, right? So how do you foster those relationships when you can't have physical contact? And there's thank God
Yeah.
for technology, and we're really
I
leaning
know,
more into
right?
digital marketing. Yeah, it's just through stuff like this. There every aspect of our sales process. We can utilize technology and still provide top notch customer service. So
Yeah,
that's a blessing.
absolutely.
We're doing a lot of work in digital marketing, a lot of telephone contact. But then again, the foundation of all of it, I feel like, is relationships. So the customers that we've already interacted with, the jobs that we've already sold, the neighborhoods that we've already impacted, and the people's lives we've already touched, we're leaning on those people. We really have. We've really tried to foster those relationships as much as possible and maintain contact. And
Yeah.
we're very, very, very fortunate. That the customers that we have just been fantastic people. So Joe mentioned it. I'm from Mississippi, so North Carolina is 12 hours from my home. My family's back there, and we stepped out on faith as a team together to do this, fostered by some incredible people. So we're trying to follow our hearts and do the things that we feel are genuinely the right things to do, and keep
Yeah,
people safe all at the same time. So it's just overcoming challenges. You know, I'm sure when the coronavirus is in the rearview mirror a long time from now, there'll just be another challenge. So we're
right.
approaching it like every other challenge with a positive attitude.
I think that's just like part of being an entrepreneur is being able to deal with challenges. I was telling somebody yesterday, I feel like, this is such a strange time, but it's not affecting me as much as it would have if it happened 10 years ago with my personality and mindset, because my clients act like there's a coronavirus every day. Everything is the end of the world. And I help them get through it and treat them like, I understand that this is the end of the world to you. So I'm going to find a solution. So it's just all about solutions, right? You know?
Yeah, I believe, Joe and I, Lord knows we're very good friends. So he probably hears me say the same thing 1,000 times. But you know, unfortunately, we seem to live in a society where people are victimized a lot. You know, it's easy to play the victim, and if you get
Right.
caught up in the problems and just paralyzed by fear, then you don't progress. So we've really tried to keep our faith, keep positive, stay in the solution, and not dwell in the problem.
Yeah, I agree. Well, speaking of solutions, okay, so if you're not knocking on doors as much, have you tried to do some live videos and some things like this, and how is it working out for you?
Good. This is our first time, so you tell us,
Yeah,
right?
this is the first time, so thank you, Kim.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I'll tell you something. Anybody can do this stuff, and the bottom line is that we're all just human. So, we're going to make mistakes and we're going to look silly, and my hair is going to look like I stuck my finger in the outlet, and it's fine. It doesn't matter. But I'll tell you what, I noticed my online exposure has gone up. I think it was like 753,000% from the live algorithm. So if people didn't know about me before, at least they can see who I really am and maybe have a better chance of getting in front of them to offer my service to help them out. So I think that this is a cool thing. It's definitely, I had some commercials. I did some commercials and things like little things like that in my past whenever, before I started selling real estate full time. And I don't even feel like that was as intimidating as going live on Facebook, which is so silly if you put it into perspective, right? Like, whatever.
But the little kid and the fear in me is like, well, there's no pause button, there's no edit. Like you can't take
It's
it
too
back. It's
late.
out there.
I mean, any minute now, one of my kids could run in here with like no pants on or something severely embarrassing. So it's definitely something that gets my adrenaline up a little bit. But that's what life is all about. If you being uncomfortable, when you start feeling yourself being uncomfortable, lean into that, because that is where the change is made. That's where growth is and character is built. So
Absolutely.
that's cool. I think you guys are doing great and just getting out there. And I have a big network in Georgia, but I also have a big network all over. So if any of my friends know anyone in Raleigh who maybe is considering getting their roof taken care of right now, or um, I have a whole bunch of friends in real estate, of course. So we'll send your information to them too. It's a really great thing to be able to support each other, especially in small businesses and boutique style companies. That's really cool. So we'll keep you guys
Yeah,
in mind for that.
I think it's one thing to talk about, your business, and we like I said, we step out on faith to come out here, but more importantly, it's a time where really families can be restored and they can be grateful for the smaller things. That's what I've really realized. It's not about the next concert or the next this or the next that. It's when we all come out of this, and we will, it's going to be a time to reflect back, and the good Lord, hey, He helped us through all this, and I think it's going to shift people's focus to be able to say, we stuck together, we made it through this, and we relied on each other, became closer to our family. Like I said, we're more grateful for what we do have, and the rat race and just getting caught up in all that. In I think it's let's see, what
Yeah.
is it? In Psalms 46, it talks about I'm the Lord. So maybe it's just time for us all to be still. Maybe that's what's forced us here. And, we can't see the long term, result of this, but we just keep putting one foot in front of the other, and
Mhm.
really just put our trust, and it creates a sense of faith in me. It's definitely stretching me, and there's been some invaluable lessons learned, in this journey. So if
Yeah, I
anything,
agree. So times when you slow down and you be still. I remember my mentor, Clay Henderson. If you're watching this, Clay Henderson is a really amazing and talented real estate broker with Atlanta Fine Homes Sotheby's in Midtown. And he specializes in like luxury estate properties with tons of acreage. And he told me when I first started, I remember it was like 11:30 at night or something, and I was freaking out over a deal, and they're going to do this or they're going to do that. What do I do? And he said, first of all, be still. Like, you just need to be still. It's the weekend, it's late at night. And that was one of the best lessons I've ever learned, because implementing that, you start to see problems taking care of themselves when you just chill out and think before you act and just reflect, I guess, like you're
yeah,
saying. I love
yeah,
that. Thanks for reminding me. That's a good one.
no
Be
problem.
still.
Um, from the aspect and avenue of how we can help homeowners in the realm of being able to do our job from the initiation, inspection part of it to the completion of the job. We do everything. We can do everything paperless, and so we can Skype, we can do Zoom. We can email, we can go over products, we can go over. This is an important piece to your home. It's an asset to your family. It's protection. We value that. We manage the job. We're very detailed. My passion lies in the details, and I always tell homeowners, your home is my home. On that day, I'm going to leave the job cleaner than I found it, and I say, no offense, I'm not being disrespectful, but it's my job to make sure everything is how you would do it, as if you were the homeowner. And
Yeah.
we just kind of approach things, that way. So it's really really important for people to understand that we don't have to have this physical, interaction basically from the start to finish. I think that's really important. And there's, the power and value in Google reviews. Again, we just came here about 3 weeks ago, the beginning of the March. So, we don't have a presence here yet. We've done a few jobs, we've got a few jobs going, and from here it's going to be those people that we've communicated with to be able to say, hey, Joe and Dave, they really took care of me. I mean, I've gotten on plenty of roofs and told homeowners, look, you don't, the damage isn't there, and they respected that. I think that's just as important as being able to put a roof on somebody's home.
Yeah, that's
So, the power in Google reviews right now for us. So if there's anybody out there that know Dave and myself and can just say, hey, look, and just be honest and transparent, that's all we would ask, because I feel like there's a lot of value in that.
Yeah, I can leave the link there too, so that I'll go back and edit when we're done, and I'll add your website and your review link. And then if anybody who knows you wants to leave one, they can help you out. That's a huge thing for small businesses right now. I know a lot of my friends are saying, let's start a group where we all like each other's Facebook or whatever. But if you know someone's character and you know their work ethic and you know they do a great job, even if you haven't personally hired them or you know someone who has, you could take the time and go and write a nice review for them. And that is really huge. 90% of our business comes from referrals from past clients who are happy. And that's why, they trust us and let us do it the way we do our job the way that we should, and we get it done. So that was a good point. Google reviews, Google Map listings. If you guys have small businesses and you don't have a Google Maps listing or Google My Business or whatever it's called, that's a really good thing that has brought me so much business. And you can actually see all the insights on an app on your phone, and it's free. And you can connect to add different advertising if you wanted to, but that's a free resource that I've used. You can track and see how many people called you, clicked your website. That's really cool. Did you guys know that too? You
Yeah,
seen that?
I've been working in a prior business with G Suite, and I mean,
Yeah,
it's crazy the stuff that you can do, and it's
it
kind of it's
is.
kind of like it's kind of like my iPhone. Like, I'm still, months and months in, and I'm still learning. Like, oh, I didn't know it would do that. It's
I
crazy
know.
the depth of that program.
Me too. Our company has G Suite for our email hosting, and I don't even know what you call it because it does everything, but I have my company email through G Suite. And I was just on it on a screen share with my sister earlier because I keep building websites on Google Sites. If you haven't checked that out, you can build websites for free, or I feel like it's for free. Honestly, I don't know. I probably shouldn't say that. Maybe it's included in my G Suite package, but it's so user friendly, and I've been using that. And then you can link it up with a vanity URL, like if you go on GoDaddy and you buy Katie.com or whatever, and you can link it up to that. But it's very confusing. But the best advice I can give to anybody is either ask somebody who has already done it, like maybe me if you need help with that, or to Google it. And don't always just read the first thing on there. There's probably like a YouTube video or a teenager who explains it like really well. So that has been cool.
Yeah, I would say, and speaking of the solutions and, the positive things that really worked for us, it's just we live in a world where we're constantly immersed in technology, but so it's so easy to take for granted, right? But
Yeah.
To learn to utilize those little simple tools, things that that have been around me for a long time. This slowdown has forced us to think outside of the box. It's forced us to look at things that are right under our noses all day, every day, and how do we utilize those tools instead of the traditional tools? And so it's crazy all that's out there. And when I think we're really from a company perspective, probably just scratching the surface, and have already gotten so much positive feedback with what we've utilized so far.
That's so cool. Do you guys fly a drone to look up on the roof, or do you get up on the roof? Just random question.
We have a drone that we can use to look at the roof. I'm more of a hands-on. I like to see what's going on. I like to climb them a lot more than I do use the drones.
That's cool that you have that though.
Yeah, we love the drone for advertising and digital imagery. The drone comes in really handy when you have structural problems that you need to address, and it's just not safe to climb on the roof. But other than that, Joe said it best. His passion, my passion, it lies in the details. So the best way to really get into the details of a roof is to put a ladder up, go up, put your hands on it, and that tends to be the way that we practice primarily.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. I was
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just rambling. What were you gonna say?
It just came to mind. I really, on the first of the call, I meant to thank the people out there, the doctors, the healthcare,
I know.
construction workers, everybody that's making a difference that we don't get to reach. So other than maybe a spot like this where we can say thank you and really mean that. So thank you.
Thank you for saying that, because to be completely honest, I ran out of my index cards and I just love writing on them. And so I'm having a hard time because Amazon can't bring my next index cards until I don't know, April 22nd or something. So I didn't even really prepare anything today. And I was just thinking, I hope I remember everything I'm going to say. I'm a little bit run down, honestly. I think I'm starting to get to that point of weirdness. So I'm glad that I have an appointment with you guys today and I actually get dressed and show up and do what I'm supposed to do. So thank you. And if nobody ever even is watching this, I'm just glad nobody's saying anything mean to me. So I keep doing it because I really need it right now. I really need to show up for people and have a purpose to put myself out there to help people in some way. That is really what keeps me going. So thank you, everyone.
And for some, it really is about the money. Some people, it's about whatever their why is. But I genuinely mean this. This is who I am. I don't know if I just got it from my parents or what, but there's nothing more satisfying than just to be able to service somebody and then be happy at the end of the time. And even if it's a question Dave asked me on a software or our system that we use, it's just a satisfying thing to be able to say, hey, look, this is how you do this. And so
I love that. Yeah, you guys are right in the same vibe as we are at my company, which is, it's so enjoyable to be able to help people. And then also, I know there's just so many roofing companies out there in the world, and I have a lot of friends that own roofing companies in Georgia too. But one thing I wanted to say is, hey, if any of my friends out there that have roofing companies that might have either referrals that they could send over your way in North Carolina, or any advice that you might want to give for what you guys are doing creatively right now, everyone in their industry should be reaching out to each other without any kind of fear of loss. Everywhere I drive down the street and you see billions of houses everywhere with roofs everywhere, and there's more than enough business to go around. And we might be, on a little pause right now. Things might be a little bit weird or going slowly, but it's going to change. And when it does change, there's going to be way more business to go around too. So right
Absolutely.
now we just have to keep planting those seeds and then also helping each other get through it, in my
That's
opinion.
one of the greatest things about America, man, is in times of challenge, in times of tragedy, in times of, when you don't know what's coming, people really pull together, and we've seen that on a local level. We're seeing it on a national level. You got National Guardsmen who are activated now. They're away from their families, and so
Yeah.
we're a country that's not afraid of sacrifice, and we've even had people in our own industry that have sacrificed for us. We have suppliers that reach out to us, and it's a very humbling thing. We have people that have busy lives, families of their own, that have reached out to us because they know what we've done. They know the motives and why we've done this, and they know that we've immersed ourselves in some uncertain times at this point. So for people to reach out and just be positive, be supportive, and offer, I've had people offer everything from referrals to pats on the back to supplies. I had a guy this morning call and say, "Hey, look, have you got plenty of trailers? Is there anything I can send you?" So that's it. When all this is said and done, and we're through this brief window of uncertainty, I think if we approach during this like we've always approached it, and we make this about people, then and God's going to bless that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, it's a time where where David and I, especially for myself, I feel like, I've grown more in my faith through all this and put more trust in him. And it's actually been a good thing. Although I know that there's many people out there that are really, really hurting. And, I know that there's purpose in all this pain. So we'll just keep doing what we're doing to help where we can and just go from there.
we have a lot of people talking to us. Thanks everybody for talking. For some reason, I can't figure out how to type back to you today.
And
It's
Kate,
there's-
one thing that when we came into this, there was one thing that Dave and I talked about. We've been here for a short time. There's an importance on being able to give back, and we actually called some different places. Didn't even get callbacks. So, we've been able to do a couple things, and if there's anything else, anybody listening in North Carolina, or if you have friends, family, neighbors in North Carolina, we're willing to go over and beyond to be able to give back. I think excellence inspires people and honors God. So if we're excellent in this, and we're doing the right thing, I believe that God will honor that. I believe that He will bless that, and we want to help people. So whatever we can do, if there's anybody out there listening or see this later, you're seeing for the first time, please, I don't mind giving my cell phone out, whatever it is, my email, just contact me, contact Dave. We want to do things. This is not just about a roof. I promise you,
yeah.
this is who we are. This is how I was raised. If this thing doesn't, whatever happens, this has been an invaluable lesson, and we want to reach these people that are here. There is a reason that we're here, and I believe we're in the right place right now, and we want to do the right thing. So however we can help in the communities, whether it's kids, I love kids, so whatever we can do for kids, the churches, the communities, I don't care if it's other roofers. I don't, those things are honored, and those things
Yeah.
God will bless you for. So whatever we can do to help, I just really wanted to make sure that I commented on that.
I spent 16 years of life in healthcare, working emergency rooms and different hospitals all over the country. So, I know it is said a lot, but I don't think people really, the gravity is hard to let weigh on you, the sacrifices that healthcare workers are making right now. You know, the
Yeah.
risk of transmission and coming, you know, you're there doing a job, and the risk of bringing something horrible home to your wife and your kids is real. It's something that weighs in everybody's minds. You know, speak to people every day. My wife's a respiratory therapist. My brother's an RN. You know, I was an RN for a long, long time, and I kind of wanted to pause and give a shout out to those folks and just say thank you. But if there's anything that we can do as far as local assistance to hospitals and healthcare providers, you know, tanks of gas for people who are struggling to get back and forth to provide healthcare to people, whatever we can do, man, we're here. And Joe says it every day, 2 or 3 times a day. It's not just about the roof. So we're here, guys.
Yeah. That's so nice. Thank you for offering that for everyone. And also, you know, something else I was thinking about that maybe we all could start doing, and I'm not really leaving the house much, but there are a lot of people who are leaving the house for work or for an appointment. So maybe if you guys have an appointment to go to a certain roof, if you leave a post, if somebody needs something along the way who can't leave, you could drop something off. I don't know. I just keep
Yeah.
thinking, how can we help people?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's good to be outside the box. You know, I think we're all trying to do that. So I would love if anybody has any ideas. You know, Lord knows we can use them, and our minds are, you know, our minds are open to it. So post it, contact us, whatever you can come up with. We're open minded folks. So.
Kate, there's something. I don't want to keep talking. I don't usually talk like I don't even like talking on a video, but this is
No,
important.
no, we're
So
brainstorming.
the other day we were driving around and we met a young man from he was in the Marine Corps, and him and his wife had I'm not really sure how many kids they had because there was like 5 of them running
Yeah, they have
around,
5.
but
They have
5.
5.
Okay, so they had 5 kids. I didn't know if it was all of theirs.
Yep.
I was doing the inspection. David got to talk to him a little bit more than I did. So anyway, long story short, you know, they had other contractors coming to their door for whatever reason. When David went up to talk to this gentleman, he just knew in his gut that, hey, you know, you're different. So when I got done inspecting the roof, I had come down, you know, I showed him photos, I showed him a video, showed him the damages on the roof. You know, I always like to say, look, I don't want to just talk about something. I want to actually show you. So it gives them either a peace of mind that the
Yeah.
roof is okay, or they have damages that they need to take care of and address. You know, they already had their paperwork, okay, but they only had the first portion of their funds. It
Oh,
was
for
actually coming up on the 3rd year here in North Carolina. They had until September 14th of this year to be able to get that and allow that depreciation to come into their pocket, right? So they had no idea. So all the homeowners that, you know, they need that specialization on the insurance side. That's what we are able to do. You know, we can give you estimates, we can do those things, but when it comes to paperwork and helping them walk through that and hold their hand, that's something that we can actually, you know, facilitate. So, you know, I just told her, and I wasn't, you know, I told her, look, I'm not, anybody can do your job right now. I said, I want you to go with who you trust, who you like. You know, what does your gut tell you? You know, that's, anyway, long story short, we were able to help them. I went over all the products that was going to go in their home. You know, they felt very confident in Dave and I, and we just told them, we're not your next best thing. We're just here. You know, this is an important piece of your home. This is how we're going to treat it, and you know, the most powerful thing a human being can ask for is their word. So we stuck by our word so far. We've done everything for that homeowner, and that's just a representation of a lot of homeowners don't know the insurance side. So we're able to
Yeah.
facilitate that and help them walk through that process and
It's with
that
all the
journey.
craziness that's going on. You know, it's people have busy lives. People have a lot of stresses right now. Our job as a company and what we really try to do is to take the weight off the homeowner's shoulders. We've got tried and true processes that we've had for years. We've got a back office with Craftsman that is amazing, that meticulously dissects insurance paperwork and makes sure that we're watching out for homeowners every step of the way. Shout out to Carrie. Hey, Carrie. Uh, she does an amazing job. So, you know,
With the paperwork side of
yeah,
it.
and it's, you know, I know, you know, I'm a homeowner myself, and we've had some things happen through the years of owning my home, and you know, it's kind of overwhelming because you're dealing with something that you know needs to be done, and you're trying to make space in life. Guys, contact us. That is it's what we do. We're really good at it. We can take the stress out of the situation in a time that's already stressful. So please give us a call. We'll be glad to
Yeah.
help you. And it's a very transparent process. And just to reiterate, it's something that we can do completely flying by wire. We never have to have face to face contact. So
That is so cool. You're right. I mean, you literally could go there and look at their roof, have a phone call before and a phone call after, or a screen share, and you're good.
Yeah,
And they
when
can
I
stay
say
home, right?
details, what's that?
Sorry. I was just
no,
thinking, they can stay home while you're replacing the roof. It's not like a whole
absolutely.
roof. It's not like the whole
Absolutely.
thing.
Yeah, and I always tell homeowners, look, there's variables to this business. People are involved. You know, always it doesn't go perfect always, right? So things can happen, but how do we respond to make sure that if we do something, we mess up something, we take care of it, right? But if it's already there, we've got detailed photos that show that homeowner, hey, that damage is already there, so it never gets sideways. But in that
Yeah.
particular job, if you do a detailed inspection, for instance, when I got back down, on the paperwork, it didn't even have gutters in their paperwork. Well, given that there was a detailed inspection, the impacts on the gutter, now that's me and David working hard to make sure that homeowner gets everything they're entitled to and everything they deserve. That's what our job is. So when I say the details matter, that's exactly what I mean by helping a homeowner make sure that they get everything that they're entitled to. So sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, you're good. I'm sorry I'm being
It's
distracted. I
important.
just wanted to say, hey, Steve Josevich. Steve actually is my friend that I believe goes to the church that you were telling me about. Hey,
Okay.
everybody. Hey, Anise. Hey, Gina. That's your Gina, not my Gina, but hey, Gina.
Yeah,
That's
that's my Gina.
cool. I don't know why it won't let me say hello back. Yeah, sorry, I got distracted there. I'm totally off my game today. I'm sorry. I'm a little sleepy or something, but we'll be back in the game tomorrow, hopefully, for our next episode. But is there anything else that you want to add, or do you have any powerful message that you want to share?
No, if David wants to say something, and I'm going to pray before we get off, if that's okay. I don't want to
That
overstep
would be
any
great.
boundaries,
I'm
but
sure a lot of people would really appreciate that.
did you have anything?
You know,
Here, I'm
I've
going
got
to
a
give you
Mississippi,
the screen. Let's
I've got a
see.
Mississippi accent, so even if I have this profound thought, uh, might not be so profound.
Can you still see us, Kate?
We may have lost you.
Are you still there?
We're here.
Still here. We
Yeah,
just can't see
we
you.
can't see you anymore.
Okay, sorry, my camera's loading up. But do your thing. I can see you and I can hear you.
Go ahead,
Okay.
Dave.
Yeah, no, it's I'm probably not much for profound thoughts, but just to kind of recap, to touch on a little bit of what's already been said. We're here. We're in Raleigh. We service all the surrounding areas. Uh, the problem in life in the world that we live in is even the bad guys will tell you they're good guys, but uh, you know, guys, look at our reviews. Look at some of the homeowners we've already interacted with. We're genuinely here to help people, and we're excited about this journey. It's definitely not, so many things that we didn't plan for, but I have these life lessons with my kids about once a day, and some of the greatest things in my life are things that I had no idea and definitely no plans for. Some of the greatest things I planned fell apart in my hands, but the greatest blessings in my life are things that I didn't plan for. So we're taking this in stride. We're taking it as a blessing. We're happy to be here and excited about the future, and really appreciate you connecting with us and giving us an
Yeah,
opportunity to
you
share our
too.
hearts with people. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. I know it's a little bit out of the comfort zone, but I think that if at least one person out there is listening to us and has a spark or gets an idea or gets it, feels a little bit better, then it's worth it, right?
Right.
Thank you, Kate.
So yeah, thank you guys. My pleasure I'm happy. You're welcome for asking you to come on, but I'm more grateful. And so I want you to say your prayer because I saw your live video the other day and it was really powerful and I just thought everybody needs that. So I'm glad that you can
Sure.
do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I'll do my best. All right, I'll go ahead. Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for the time we've got to share with Kate, our heart, and all those that are listening through this hard time for everyone. We pray that you would just give them perspective that they can look to you, and you're where our help comes from. God, you said in Proverbs 3:5-6 to trust in you with all of our heart and lean not to our own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge you. And God, that's where we're at. We just love you. We thank you for the pain that creates purpose in our lives and builds character and stretches us and continues to grow us so that we can take our stories and minister others down the road. We pray that you just forgive us, God, where we failed you, where we failed, and in our past, God, you've used that for a reason. And let us not look there, but just look today and be thankful for what we have. And we thank you for all the people that are listening. We thank you for all the people that we're going to touch. We thank you for just the people that are out there right now that are they're doing their jobs to best facilitate others. The kids that that are out there that don't have much, and the families that don't have much. God, use us to reach those people. Use us to make a difference in their lives. Thank you for the relationships that you're going to provide for us moving forward to make a difference in their lives as well. God, give us the relationships that we need. Place those people in our lives so that we can move your kingdom and empower people. We do this with a heart that only glorifies you. It's not about us. There's no agenda. There's no hidden selfish ambitions for this. God, you have us exactly where we are. And I believe that it's exactly where you want us. This is no surprise to you, what's going on. Just bring peace and comfort to all those that are out there that are hurting and they don't know where to turn. And God, let this be a time that they can fully depend on you for your help. And they don't look to a bottle or a pill or anything like that helps satisfy them. God, let them look to you. I'm a perfect example of an imperfect person that you've created to be in this place right now, to move your people towards you. And I pray that you would just give us favor, God, give us success what we put our hands to, that it's not for us, but it's for you and for those that we will touch in the future. God, we praise you and we thank you for this time we have with Kate. God, bless her business, bless the people that she's going to bless. God, give us the ability to be genuine and help those in need. We thank you for all this in your precious name. Amen.
Amen. Thanks.
Awesome.
That was nice. I appreciate it. You guys, I'm going to put all of your information in the box. And of course, you can comment on there too and leave it and say hello to everybody that we couldn't figure out how to type to. But I'll let you off here. And I got to give you guys a powerful message. But that was a pretty powerful message, so I might not need to give one today. I think you did a great job.
No. We want to hear it. Go ahead. What you got?
I don't know. I have to think of one real quick. There was some really great news I wanted to share, but I can't remember what it was. Oh, I mean, well, in the scheme of things, I guess it's kind of silly, but my lender told me today that he locked the rate for one of our deals for a 30-year VA fixed mortgage, and the rate was, you're not going to believe this, it's like crazy, 2.875%.
Wow.
Twos, we're in the twos.
They've gotten
So, and I think that a lot of people are probably buying a house right now thinking, I'm going to go ahead and get me like one of those 2-ish% mortgages. And then after that, I'm not going to pay my mortgage for a year. Probably I might not have to. So let's roll.
Well, Kate, thank you again.
Yeah.
We appreciate you.
Thanks a bunch.
Thanks for asking us.
My pleasure. Thank you. All right, you guys, I have for tomorrow I'll let you guys get off so you don't have to hang with me all day. Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
Wrong one. That was the wrong one. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up. But thanks everybody for watching. And if you need anything from us, not just to buy or sell a house, if there's anything I can do for you at all, if you need any advice, Desiree Cochran, if you didn't get your Google sheet figured out, call me, because that's like my #1 hobby, and everything's crazy out there, but we're gonna make it. That's about it. Tomorrow for episode 6, I don't really have anyone totally confirmed yet, but I may have a home inspector. I have to give him a call after this. And if you guys have, if you or anyone else that you know would like to be interviewed on the show, I promise I'll act right. And thank you so much. I'm going to leave all the links below for everything that you guys can check out, the reviews page for Joe and David's company, and a website that shows why can't I say that? Contactless listing and home selling solutions from my business, and my preferred lender with those super low rates. Terms and conditions apply, so he doesn't get mad at me when everybody calls like, where's my 2% rate? But you know what I mean? I just can't even believe that it's in the twos. I'm like, what can I get a mortgage on right now? I need a mortgage. I need to get one. So you guys have a great evening. Take care. Call me if you need me, and bye. I hate when this won't stop. It's so awkward. Stop.